Salama Patang, a very pleasant good afternoon to all the participants who have joined with us for this afternoon session for this international webinar on morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature in the age of COVID-19 and international perspective, which has been organized by the Department of Business Administration of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College, Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu State, India. So today morning we have a very great, wonderful session which was shared by two of the professors from the Universiti Pendidikan of Sultan Idris, Perak, Malaysia, and one is Dr. Noor and other one is Dr. Vasantham. And afternoon we have another two sessions with us. So we are going to have the third session, Dr. MOHD bin Ibrahim, the Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences, who have joined with us right now, and followed by the fourth session, the final session, Dr. Nadarajan Thambhu, the Associate Professor of the Department of Moral, Civics, and Character Building. Before getting into the program, may I request the beloved principal of Dr. S. Malarkodi ma'am of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College to welcome the gathering. Please, over to Dr. S. Malarkodi ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I welcome you all to this international webinar on morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature in the age of COVID-19, an international perspective. We are entering into the afternoon session. Actually, this is the third session of our program. In the morning, we had two wonderful sessions with Dr. Noor Banu, the head, the Department of Moral, Civics, and Character Building, University of Pendidikan, and Sultan, Idris, Malaysia, and with Dr. Vasantham Kurusamy, Senior Lecturer of the Department Moral, Civics, and Character Building, University of Pendidikan, Malaysia. Both the sessions were knowledge sharing with regard to morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature, especially the responsibilities of the government, the authorities, the responsibility of a good citizen, and how the pandemic situation had come under the control in Malaysia. And during this age of COVID-19, what are the teachers' ethics and how the teachers should communicate to the students' community, parents, and their colleagues, and how to be a model teacher was also well presented by our resource persons in the morning session. Respected resource persons of these noon sessions, Dr. MOHD bin Ibrahim, Dean of Faculty of Human Sciences, and Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU, Associate Professor of Department of Moral Science, Moral Civics, and Character Building, University of Pendidikan, Sultan Idris, Malaysia. I express my warm welcome to you, as both of you. I welcome you, a warm welcome, and it is my pleasure and pride to welcome you on behalf of the management, secretary of our college, Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College, Mr. Jeevan Jacob, the faculty members of business administration of our college, and other faculty members. And once again, I express my warm welcome you to this webinar. I also welcome Mr. Professor Dilipan Kumar, Assistant Professor, who is the coordinator of this program, and the organizers, Professor Senthil Ganesh, Professor Mrs. Dhanlashmi of the Department of Business Administration. At this juncture, I would also thank our VC, our Honorable VC, Vice Chancellor of University of Sultan Idris Education University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shatar bin Shabran, for granting permission to conduct this webinar and for providing such a valuable resources. Because that means without his permission, we could not have imagined. That means he cannot dream out of this program. So such a wonderful program we are having. So I am very much thankful to our VC, and I also express my warm welcome to other professors who are joining with us, the students and other participants. Once again, I express my warm welcome to you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. S. Malarkodi ma'am, for the nice welcome. I request Mrs. T. Sangeeta Sudha, Assistant Professor of the Department of Commerce of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College, to introduce Dr. MOHD bin Ibrahim.
Good afternoon to all. I am profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest of the day. Today, international webinar on morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature in the age COVID-19. And today we have Professor Dr. MOHD bin Ibrahim, committed in the Bachelor of Arts, Geography from University of Malaya, and Master of Arts in Environmental Management from National University of Malaysia, and Doctor of Philosophy in the City Climate from National University of Malaysia. His present position, Dean of Faculty of Human Science and Associate Professor Associate Professor, Department of Geography and Environment, University Pendidikan, Sultan, and Idris, Perak, Malaysia. He is also serving member the International NUSA Academic Urban Climate. He is also serving the International Geotechnic, the Contracts and Material and Environment, Geomed Society, Japan. He is National Committee member of FELDA, Professional Affiliates, Prime Minister Department of Malaysia, and is National Committee member for Environmental Management Society of Malaysia. He is member of International Geographic. He is member of National Geographic Society of Malaysia, and is also serving member of National Environmental Management of Malaysia. His specialization, the geographic and environment, his research interest, physical geographic, weather and climate, urban ecosystem, environment and environmental management. Besides, he is also known for his professional experience, 20 years of experience as teacher and lecturer, being the head of researcher for more than 15 research about physical geography, weather and climates, urban ecosystem, and environment and environmental management studies in the country. Present numerous papers in national and international conference, has written many scholarly articles in local and foreign journals. As we welcome and give a big round of applause for Professor Dr. MOHD bin Ibrahim. Welcome, sir, and thank you, Dilbin, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. T. Sangeeta Sudha, for the nice introduction of the resource person. It is the time for the resource person to take over the session. May I now request beloved resource person, Dr. Mohammed Hari bin Ibrahim, the Dean of Faculty of Human Sciences, as well as the Associate Professor of the Department of Geography and Environment, to take over the session. The session is yours, sir, please. You have to unmute. Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon. You hear me, our chairman?
Yes, it is audible.
Thanks.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Thanks for our college rector, dean faculty, for the business and administration faculty. Also, Dr. Mala, how are you for today? Also, our chairman, Dr. Dilip Han Kumar. I correct right your name?
Yes, yes.
I worry. Yeah, yes, good.
Our principal is Dr. S. Malarkodi. Yes, he called you, but
yeah. Also, my colleague, Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Nadarajan, also Dr. Wasantan and Dr. Banu. Also, all our colleagues, also our participants in our conference today. We are very lucky because Malaysia and India usually is our neighbor. Because all India also around in Malaysia. Either academician or some workers working in India. I think we are the neighbor because Air Asia going to India, must going to India, Malaysia Airline go to India. I think that's for just for starting. I want to share my slide today. I think everyone, can you look up my slide now?
yes, Professor, yes.
I want to starting, if you look up now.
You have to press the slideshow. At the down, no? There is a couple like, yeah.
Wait, I press.
Yes, this one. The down. Bottom. The couple like. Yes, click that.
Wait, few minutes. Okay.
Yes.
You can see?
Yes.
My topic today is more in community environmental ethics towards environmental conservation and sustainability. This is my topic. I think we relate about environmental ethics, how the issue of either COVID-19 or either our environmental issue, we relate about environmental ethics. The next one. Just for highlight, this is our for promotion for all Indian participants in all the lecturer, especially also postgraduate student. I want to highlight about our UPSI Edu Innovation YouTube. I think everyone can just having just using simple simple, just touch our handphone, you can touch YouTube and then search UPSI Edu Innovation and just subscribe. Because this is, we have a lot of our innovation, and then we just sharing to everyone, just free to subscribe. I hope I can share, you can download later on and get new information, and we can share the information, UPSI and your college, and also all the members of the college, either lecturer or your student. And then my scope today is having 5 items only, 5 focus only. A little introduction, climate change, climate community, environmental ethics, and public participant. I think just focus. I have around, how many? 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
And then if I want to highlight about climate change, I think everyone know about climate change. I don't want to highlight more, but we know climate change is happening. We know how in India, how in Malaysia, also how in Japan, and how in Australia. Last 3 months, what happened in Australia, what happened in Malaysia, what happened now in Borneo, because now flood issue happened in Sabah, Borneo. I think if you look up news, if you Google like everything, that is happened. The current situation. And then I just want to highlight about, this is our, what I want to highlight is, this is our Earth. That means when coming about environmental issue and climate change, I think this is happened to our Earth, either in India, either in Malaysia, either in Southeast Asia. That's why we have the extreme weather phenomena. We have the heat. We have the changes in ecosystem and desertification. Also, we have extinction of species. This is natural process. After this, I will show how the human process changes when human take part in the environment. And then I think this is the issue in Arctic. I think everyone know about this. I just want to highlight. And then this is happened in Malaysia, also in India. I think this is example from the India, because exactly 300 people died. I think the heat waves happened in 2016. I think also some part in Asia Pacific also happened. And then this is also happened in India, also in France, Spain, also in South Korea, heat wave, also Japan declare a natural disaster. That means how our community alert about all this natural disaster. And then I want just highlight about very important to alert about heat wave. And then how happened, this happened last year, I think on June. Now is 29, right? Only left one day, right, Dr. Nada? Left 1 day.
Yes.
Yeah. Now is 28 June. That's how you see the Spain having wildfire burning across Spain. I think same thing for the early this year and last year in Australia. I think this is one part we need to alert. And then also this, what happened in the other country, the climate change and extreme weather, also including how man-made changes our landscape and our environment. And then this is very important, how our community, how our people, how our industry changes our environment. This we can look up my right or my left. You want which one? This is our ethics. If we want to choose which one, either right,
greenery,
or life, or left. And then this is made the hazard. I just show a framework or topology of hazard. How about man-made war? Also industry, energy production, agriculture, resources management. That's all will be giving the hazard. There is the impact is life of health, food and water biodiversity will decrease, or we have a housing problem. And then I just want to show this picture. The first picture at the up is in Sungai Rajang, Kuching, Sarawak. Dr. Nada know about this, I think. More. I think Dr. Nada already go more time here. And the second one, the second picture in Sungai Kelantan in the east of Peninsula Malaysia. Which one we want? Either the first picture or the second picture. Because I think in 2014, we have flood monsoon issue because all the flood very critical happen in Malaysia, and this is causes from the second picture. I think everyone know about this, including all of my colleagues in Malaysia. And I give one the next picture. You need to think how this picture come from the Hong Kong pollution river issue. We can see the clean river. They're using the SDG, Sustainable Development Goal approach. How clean the river. We can see how the fishermen, the small fishermen, can using this river, and how the old people can using as a reflexy for their health. This is we need to think how the environment very important, and how our environmental ethics need to develop to our community to ensure they will what? They will conserve the either river or our environment. And then there is issue now in the city, how the city community towards environmental ethics. We can see what happened in environmental issue in the urban city, like flash flood, about how they happen about waste, about cultural change, because the power of urbanization. I think this is everything regarding the environmental ethics. We need to improve and ensure our community, urban community, will alert about this. And then I want to show about this, how we use environmental ethics, building a resilient community, a relationship, resources, and reimagination. I think this is very important. I give the sample how Kensington Village Association in action in 2015. They're having a good communication, how they're using the engagement with their community to ensure they will increase and they will using and develop their environmental ethics with their community. Resilient, example, one forest at a time, example. And then how we develop community civic capacity. I think this is the linkages, how we recall the civic capacity involvement, the coming together with various stakeholders from the public, private, either the third sector to solve the common perceived public problem. I think the public problem usually about regarding environmental issue, because building culture in civic engagement may improve the knowledge resources, very important, knowledge resources and learning capacity for the effective climate governance. Example, the issue in the urban and games both accountability, legitimacy for the resulting planting and action. I think this is very important to human civic capacity, because the environmental issue, I think the very important is how we develop our civic capacity. And then in our environmental ethics, one very important we need to tackle is why lack of communication and engagement is a problem. Because the person in the urban city usually having a lack of communication and engagement. That's why everyone, I think, not much communicate to solve the problem in the city. And next, D is valuable and but insufficient capacity building effort, because everyone just want to highlight their own capacity, not together. This, I think, this valuable need to highlight in our community. And then when we meeting the communication and engagement capacity needs, we need to have identifying and engaging a potential of trainer to build up, example, to build a large cohort of climate communication, training the trainers, and financially supporting communication, evaluating communication and engagement effort, also continuous building and community of practice. I think all these we need to do together to ensure become an integrated approach. And then I think this is opportunity to develop a community resilient and having environmental ethics. This is how the picture look up. They are together. They are together to do it, to conserve our environment. And then this is the community resilient framework. When we have the ethics, and then we need to have environment. That means having two parts in this framework. That means we need to have responsive governance, because usually we need a governance responsibility, and also they will develop and work together to ensure all the urban community having a quality of life. I think this is connecting within a strong economy and prepare the system. And then this is very important. We have 10 principles for building community ethics. As I show, I understand vulnerability, because vulnerability is the issue now. When we have industrial example, when having a waste dumping example, there is we giving the vulnerability and giving the hazard. I think this is we need to strengthen our job and housing opportunities, because our development in industry and housing area we need to plan very proper. And then the third part is more in promote equity, also community asset. And then I think redefine how and where to build, and then build the business case. And then I think the last one is minimize a co-benefit and having harness innovation and technology. I think this is 10 principles for the building community ethics in an urban city. And then when we talk about environmental ethics toward education and environmental issue now, we have 5 focus need to relate with the hazard, usually in climate resilient, water quality and quantity, habitat and wildlife, and communities. Because all these having a. And then very important is public participant, civic capacity, and climate change. I know everyone usually they not participate in any activity because they don't have the feel to join. That's why we need to develop public participant, and how when we get them to involve, they're having a join together, they have integrate, and then we can capacity them to to join together and having civic capacity, and we relate with the climate change issue. And then I think when we talk about public participant to develop the environmental ethics, usually we need to have the alternative term, civic participant, stakeholder engagement. We need to have new public involvement. Also, we need to have community engagement. There also we need to have civic management. I think these three elements of participant, they will develop, could be everyone invested with legal authority to make public decision and who are interested in the decision making process. I think these three elements will indicate when stakeholder participate in governance process, because we need to involve governance, also the public leaders, also the common community, including what happened when stakeholder participate. There is like the framework, integrated framework we're using. And then when we talk about governance, I think everyone know a good governance for the climate adaptation or for the environmental issue especially, they need to have a responsive and flexibility, participate in inclusion, experience and support, very important, accountability and transparent, also decentralization and autonomy. I think governance is very important as local level, and particularly for the cities participant is the theoretical part of good urban governance, especially for climate change adaptation. And then when we talk about civic capacity, we have three sectors. We need to having a priority, especially institutional capacity, public sector, also private sector capacity, and non-profit sector capacity, especially NGOs. This is the framework to develop the civic capacity, especially for environmental ethics. And then when we talk about traditional, especially to lead the climate issue for planning, I think this is the initiative how the local governance collaborate with university researcher. What we doing now, India college related to UPSI and governance with the community, and some governance initiative with the extent to which they are engaged with the public during the adaptation planning or policy development. Also going on the side to together to try to manage and try to make decision making to solve any environmental issue. And then this is non-governance. I think just lead, I call lead climate planning is just example how we get community and NGOs together or involvement to join any activity and to manage to manage any environmental issue in urban city. And then this is, I think, the fourth step that how non-governmental governmental provision of urban climate, the flow, how the non-governmental actors have stepped in to provide urban climate adaptation when and where governmental actors have not. This is, I think, the flow, how we need to get non-governmental action involved in the urban city. And then this is, I think, just to show how the co-production of urban climate adaptation, wherever governance and community participants are involved intensively in the implementation of adaptation response, either environment or environmental issue, or not just in planning, but all the contribute substantive resources to the effort. I think this is how the co-production involvement regarding the regarding which environmental issue in urban city. And then when we talk the integrated planning, very important is partnership. I think when we talk about partnership, the first one is more collaborative and sustained governance response involvement. The information of public-private partnership. I think this is very important to coordinate and implement specific urban climate adaptation action, because the second one, the partnership form of governance, have been raised and criticized nearly equal measurement. I think this is example the partnership in New York City. They're using this step to develop a partnership. At the same time, they will develop the environmental ethics. And then the example how the initiative, governance, and community involvement to develop environmental ethics using how they can together to participate and make decisions. And then D is the civic capacity, as I highlighted before this. And then when we talk about civic capacity, usually we need to know about strategies. I think we have 4 strategies. The first one is protect and maintain the existing urban, and then the second one is more increased canopy cover, usually more in about environment, urban environment like a street, park, and private property. I think the third one is more improved biodiversity, because the issue of environment in the urban city, usually they will decrease the biodiversity in urban city because they want to develop more and more and more about their building and develop more in business. All this we call urbanization, but there is the lack of communication, and they not improve the biodiversity. And then the last one is more increased community and knowledge and engagement. I think this is very important for develop and linkages with environmental ethics. And then just want to highlight this picture. We want to choose this, or we choose the urban area. Dr. Nada, you want to choose this or you want to choose urban area? Maybe you want to choose this because less nature, the nature, so that we can have a better future. I think when you look up this picture, I think we can feel it. We feel it cool and no stress, like our chairman now, very cool and no stress, very, very humble, that they can feel it about this picture. And then one thing I want to add, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. That's why if you want to walk fast, walk alone. If you want to walk far, walk together. That's why we need to have good environmental ethics, good community civic in our urban, because we want to walk far. Yes, we want to walk together. I think one very important, usually I will highlight every country, I need to highlight about SDGs. 2030, our goal, like United Nations, I think we have 17 pillars, either for poverty, either for the community, either for water or climate action, number 13, or we need to have life on the land, because everyone stay at the land. Anyone stay at Mare or Azual? I think no. Everyone to stay at Pluto? I think no. But everyone still stay in the earth, because we need to have pillar number 11, because having the sustainable and communities. That's very important. Well, finally we need to have 17, pillar 17. That means the aim is sustainable development goal. I think this is our goal. Every country, either Malaysia, Indonesia, our student, our lecturer. In Indonesia, we call our docent. For Dr. Diliman. In Indonesia, they call dosen. Is I think totally different. Malaysian
Different, yeah. Malaysia and Indonesia is
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
We are going to soon. We are going to have another webinar from Indonesia also. Professor
Yeah.
Aryan is joining with us.
I can propose. I can recommend a lecturer from Indonesia because
Okay.
in UPSI we have a good collaboration from all the what we call province or we call state in Indonesia. You see, in Sumatra Island, ada Java Island, Lombok Island, also Nusa Tenggara, including Borneo, we call Kalimantan. I think Dr. Nada know about me, how I journey in Indonesia. I stay around more than 3 months. Stay there and I meet my colleague there. Also, we have good networking with Indonesia and Thailand. Also, our faculty also having same goal with the Thailand, also in Brunei, also some the other country. I think I hope this environmental ethics having linkages with sustainable goal to develop our next generation. That because everyone, if don't have the environmental ethics, I think we cannot sustain our land, we cannot sustain our water, we cannot sustain our environment. Finally, we cannot achieve our goal. I think just for today afternoon for sharing, Dr. Diliphan and Kumar, this is my last slide. I think just for sharing our vision in my faculty is humanity beyond boundaries. That means our vision is want to highlight. I think if we have the good environmental ethics, that means we can sustain our environment and we can meet our vision is sustainable development goal as a 17th goal to transform our world and how we can adapt all the disaster and climate change in our planet Earth. That is our same planet with India and Malaysia. That is from me. If I having any mistake, I want to say sorry. Hopefully we can collaborate and do something for the expand our knowledge and for the having a networking, and then maybe we can exchange student, exchange lecturer, and then having a writing together.
Yes.
Writing together, that means we can publish for Scopus and ISI. I think that is our projection now. I think this is our starting for today. For everyone, if you need to have my contact, everything, just get from our moderator or our chairman in your college. I think. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
invited.
Terima kasih Guru Besar. Thank you.
I very glad for everyone to sharing for today. Especially Dr. Nada helped me to join together today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You'll be there for the next half an hour, or you're moving, sir?
Yeah. I will wait a few minutes.
Okay. We'll have at the end. We'll be having the question and session for both the session. We'll have together.
Okay. I will wait.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed Hari bin Ibrahim, for the nice session, which is again the need of the hour, and you have almost touched all the nuances of the climatic change which is happening right now. Thank you. And next, it's a profound duty to have Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU amidst us. So before getting into Dr. NADARAJAN's session, may I request Ms. Ashika Parveen, Assistant Professor of the Department of English Literature of Gita Jivan Arts and Science College, to introduce our next session resource person, Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU. Over to Ms. Ashika Parveen.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
So, you all, I privilege to introduce the resource person, Dr.
Ms. Ashika, ma'am,
NADARAJAN
your voice is
THAMBU,
breaking. Your
for the
voice is breaking.
international. Okay, so 1 minute. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sir. So good afternoon to all. It's my privilege to introduce the resource person, Dr. Nadarajan Thambu, for this international seminar, international webinar. He has BA Hons in Malay Literature and History Education from University of Science, Malaysia, and a Masters of Education in Value Education from University of Malaya, and also Doctors of Moral Education from University of Malaya. And now he is an Associate Professor, Department of Moral, Civics, and Character Building Studies, Faculty of Human Sciences, University Pendidikan, Sultan, Idris, Perak, Malaysia. And he is a member of the Asia Pacific Network of Moral Education. And he holds about 17 years of experience as a teacher and a lecturer. He presents numerous papers on morals, moral pedagogy, forum, theater and moral education, drama and moral education, higher order thinking skills, and child moral development at national and international conferences. And he also serves as an advisory panel for the development of the moral education curriculum and textbooks, organized by the Curriculum Development Division's Ministry of Education, Malaysia. Once again, we welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ashika Parvin, for the nice introduction about the fourth resource person of today's session. So it is the session is open to Dr. Nadarajan, sir. So you can take over the session and you can do well. You can rock it. I hope so. Thank you.
Can I share the screen, sir? Can I?
You are sharing, or do you want me to share, sir? I am sharing.
You please share for me,
yeah,
sir.
I'm sharing. I'm sharing.
Okay.
Yes, Professor, you can go ahead.
Okay. Vanakkam and salam sejahtera and very good morning. Good evening to Mr. P. Jivan Jacob, Secretary of Gita Jivan Arts and Science Colleges, Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu State, India. To Dr. S. Malarkodi, Principal of Gita Jivan Arts and Science College, Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu State, India. Honorable Dr. Devan Kumar, IQAC Coordinator and Assistant, Professor, Department of Business Administration, Gita Jivan Arts and Science College, Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu State, India. And Dr. Devan Kumar, also the Program Coordinator for today's international webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, our webinar topic is morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature in the age of COVID-19 and international perspective. Deepan sir, please slideshow.
Yes, Professor. You can go ahead, Professor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Okay, my discussion today is more to see critically how the morality was used, how the philosophy of morality was used by people in all over the country during this COVID pandemic. Okay. Now, you know, COVID-19 is an eye-opener or a wake-up call for our practice of morality, ethics, and behavior towards human and nature. The coronavirus pandemic is a real moral test for humanity, human existence, and sense of justice. This crisis compels us to make moral decisions that reveal what kinds of people we really are. Okay, so according to Anita Allen, a member of a former President Barack Obama's Bioethics Committee, every country in the world is facing the same set of ethics questions and dilemmas. Questions such, what can individuals expect from society and what can society expect from them? John Authers, a senior editor of Bloomberg News, is telling that coronavirus is shaking up the moral universe, okay? The moral universe. It's really shaken up us, especially in the moral perspective. It's a test of where all humans stand. It's a test of a medical capacity and a political will. And for believers, of course, a test of religious faith. That's why we always can see people are talking about coronavirus is a punishment from God and so on. We don't know how far it's true, okay? The outbreak, whatever, which puts the moral theories and philosophies to test, had lead to many conflicts of values in society. Okay, so next slide, sir. Okay. Actually, if you look at this, every human being holds his own philosophy, values, and moral theory. They will act on their ideology in all situations. This can lead to problems of value conflict among them. Okay. The same phenomena occurred in each country as they sought to deal with COVID-19 recently. Okay, a conflict of values occur because they want to act on their ideals, philosophies, and moral theories. Okay, let's take a look at some of philosophies and moral theories that people around the world were trying to implement during COVID-19. Okay, we look at it. Okay, we look at this few philosophy and moral theories. Okay, these philosophy and moral theories were used by most of the people in the country throughout the world to defend themselves. You know, they just want to show who they are. Okay, first theory is about utilitarianism. Yeah, the founder of this utilitarianism is British philosopher John Stuart Mill. Okay, on 19th century in British. Yeah? The utilitarian approach holds to principle of maximizing benefit for the largest number. Okay, their principle is maximizing benefit for the largest number. Okay, in the other word, our moral actions must guide to the total happiness of utility of all the people and should aim to secure the greatest good for the greatest number. Let's say, for example, we have 10 people and only we can save 7 of them. According to utilitarianism, it's okay, 7 of them, at least we can save 7. What about 3? They said, it's okay, no problem. Because this is their philosophy, you know, this utilitarian, you know. Okay. The United Kingdom seems to be heeding the utilitarians, okay. Utilitarianism states that we should, we should choose our course of action based on what is best for the greatest number of people. For example, in situations such as a pandemic, utilitarianism says some people may be justly sacrificed for the greater good. Okay, you know, they don't bother. Some people, okay, we cannot save them. Never mind. It's because that's a very minority for them. You know, they hold that kind of principle. For example, Britain chief scientist advisor stoked controversy when he estimated that about 40 million people in the UK could need to catch the coronavirus, you know, letting enough people to get the virus to build herd immunity. He claimed this would prevent the disease from resurging and protect the economy in the long term. Okay, we look at it, what is we call like herd immunity. Okay, herd immunity is a form of indirect protection from infectious disease that occurs when a large percentage of a population has become immune to an infection, whether through vaccination or previous infections, thereby providing a measure of protection for individuals who are not immune. Okay, this utilitarian, you know, they come up with this kind of idea. You know, they said we have to sacrifice a few for the greatest good. Okay, it was created the moral conflict among people. You know, well, this kind of philosophy created a moral conflict among people. Immediately, Prime Minister Boris Johnson's government, okay, has abandoned this herd immunity plan, even admitting that it was a failure. Okay, next, sir. Okay, we look at this people's philosophy. Okay, libertarians. For libertarians, the founder of libertarians philosophy is an American Enlightenment philosopher, John Locke, and it is a modern incarnation, gains inspiration from the author Ayn Rand. For Ayn Rand, man had a right to live for himself, and an individual's happiness cannot be prescribed by another man or any number of other men. Libertarian is a personal, libertarian wants personal freedom or personal autonomy. Okay, they want personal autonomy. It is their belief, and they uphold on that belief. Okay, that's why we can see during pandemic, actions such panic buying and hoarding medical equipment in United States and some other countries also show that many people are following libertarians' idea of self-determination and putting themselves first. For them themselves, you know, they are very, very selfish, look like very selfish. You know, they don't bother about other people, you know, they want to live for themselves. It's like that, you know. Actually, in fact, they don't want the government to take action such as lockdowns, travel bans, quarantines, and social distancing, because this against their personal right. In many parts of the United States, if you see, this pattern persists. You know, if I get corona, I get corona. Who cares? Proclaim a 22-year-old at a spring break party in Florida. Okay, these libertarians holding this principle. You know, principle is their right, the individual right. You know, they are upholding that principle. However, after a few weeks, the libertarian approach to the pandemic is ineffective and unethical. Yeah? And it poses great risks to others. Lockdown and cancelling even maybe initially seem radical, but it is necessary to prevent the virus from spreading. Okay, this is the philosophy from libertarian philosophy. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. We look another slide. Okay. Okay. This is communitarians. Okay. Who is this? This communitarians philosophy. Okay. This philosophy is connected to Amita Zioni, sociologist, and Michael Sandel, philosopher. Okay. For them, individual rights count, yes, but not more than community norms. Okay, these people, they put community in first. Whatever community norms is important for them. No, even though individual right is okay, they can take it, but community must come first. Okay, according to Michael Sandel, justice must be rooted in society. Okay. Theory of justice must be based on the common good. The common good is about how we live together in community. It's about the ethical ideals we strive for together to live together, the benefits and burdens we share, and the sacrifices we make for one another. Okay, actually, if you look at it, China practiced a kind of a communitarianism after the coronavirus first appeared in Wuhan. Okay, people were told to lock themselves in and were forced. They are forcibly quarantined for the good of the community and the state. This strategy of speedy lockdown and tight control was an effective way to combat COVID-19. Okay. For these communitarians, you know, for them, community must come first. You know, like a country like China, you know, they're having this communist ideology on that. Okay, they look for the community. The community must come first, you know, not for the individual rights here. Okay, say we look at another philosophy. Okay, sir, we can look another philosophy. Mr. Taliban, Mr. Dilip.
Professor, 1 minute.
Yeah, other one. Move to another.
Is
The Rollians, the number 4.
yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, this philosophy and moral theory. This is Rollians. Who is the Rollians? Okay, the founder is a Harvard philosopher, John Rawls. According to Rawls, human would not demand total equality, but government need to give the assurance of basic necessities, opportunity to do better, a good foundation for social and political justice. Okay, for these people, this philosopher, for this kind of people, those who uphold this philosophy, they don't want total equality. They don't want, but they want government take the assurance to make sure they get what they want, like the basic necessities and all that. Okay, along Rawlians lines, the moral thing to do during this global pandemic is not to sacrifice a few for the greater good. No, not like a utilitarian, but to protect everyone, particularly our most vulnerable and our weakest. Okay, they want to protect everyone. Yeah. Okay. Overall, this theory is similar to the golden rule. Okay, the golden rule. We will all be better off treating others the way we want to be treated. The golden rule. What is the golden rule? Yes, is the principle of treating others as you want to be treated. This is the golden rules. Okay. Then this Rawlians believe on this. Okay. According to Russell Moore, the president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention, when talking to the New York Times, he was telling, I hope the lessons we take from our country's experience with COVID-19 aren't about food or avoiding the spread of germs, but about how we treat the most vulnerable among us. Okay, same goes to our religious icon, our world religious icon, according to Pope Francis. Okay, he was telling, we have realized that we are on the same boat, all of us fragile and disoriented, but at the same time important and needed. All of us called to row together, each of us in need of comforting the other. Okay, this Rawlians, this philosophy is taking that we have to, protect everyone. We have to protect everyone, especially the weakest and the vulnerable. Okay, I think this kind of now America try and start to using this Rawlian philosophy, and now American, each of them are calling their Rawlians, because they want to protect everyone. Yeah, they don't want left anyone behind in this pandemic. Okay, okay, sir. Next slide, sir. Okay. When we look at this, before I go with my discussion, I just want to take a look what Abraham Lincoln, 16th president of United States, was telling. Okay, he was telling, you must remember that some things legally right are not morally right. He was telling, some things legally right are not morally right. Maybe something legally right, but not morally right. If we look at the people here, those who are upholding utilitarian, communitarian, or libertarian, they all with their own philosophy and principle. Nothing wrong with them, Maybe legally they are right. They are doing, they are acting with their principle, But the question here is, everything is morally right? This is our question we have to answer, which and everyone want to answer. Okay. According the above discussion, clearly show how different moral and philosophical practice lead to conflict of values and problems in society. In fact, all philosophies and moral theories have their own rationales. They have their own rationales. Therefore, we as humans need to use appropriate theory to solve problems. For example, now the United States of America has chosen to follow Rawls philosophy to deal with COVID-19 because they want to save everyone. Everyone, they want to save everyone. This is very good. Okay. While countries like China, South Korea, Japan, and Malaysia have chosen collective cultures, have been at the front of a successful reducing their COVID-19 cases and death tolls. Okay. Like in Malaysia, we have a different culture. Okay. We have Chinese culture, Malay culture, Indian culture, and our native culture too. Okay. We choose the best in our culture and we put together to combat this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. So that's why we are using the collective culture. Lucky in our country, we don't have much pressure from these philosophers like communitarian or libertarian or utilitarian. Okay. Okay. Here, what happened to a country like this? Country who are using collective cultures. Citizens, they work together to do what was best for the entire community, despite the loss of some personal freedom, which makes this theory is applicable to many other nations. Okay, they don't want, they no more, want to be very selfish. They put the community first. Okay, I like to quote here what our John F. Kennedy was told once. Once he was told us, John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Okay, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Okay, now this is the philosophy and principles work here. Everybody get together to save their country. Very good. I think India also leading to this. They also strive to overcome this pandemic very seriously. Okay. According to Steven Pinker, professor of psychology at Harvard University, apart from the country, people also need to have a moral ethic called altruism. Altruism is the principle and moral practice of concern for happiness for other human beings or animals, resulting in a quality of life, both material and spiritual. Everyone must act altruistically in this situation, and altruistic care is for the public good. Government and stakeholders must encourage more altruism for fighting the virus. Okay, so we go on with another slide. Okay, how can we encourage this altruism? How can we encourage altruism to our people? Okay, look at the heroes. First, look at the heroes, our moral exemplar. You must look at our moral exemplar here. Okay, there will always be a heroic effort in disaster. People who sacrifice themselves for the good of others. Think of the healthcare workers. Okay, we think of the healthcare workers, the frontliners who are treating people infected with this virus at great personal risk, or those infected with the virus who voluntarily isolate themselves for weeks to protect the public. Okay, when we hear stories of these people, okay, we should feel what is called moral elevation, a warm feeling inside that inspire us, fueling optimism and a desire to act altruistically. Yeah, ourselves. We must act altruistically ourselves. Okay. While the temptation might be to focus on fear and everything going wrong, we can redirect our attention to those who are doing the right thing, which will lead us to be better citizens ourselves. Okay, this is one way we can show our altruism. Second, we must show our gratitude. Okay, one of the kindest thing we can do is to say thank you to those who are doing what they can to fight the outbreak. Send a message of thanks to people and organizations that are doing the right things, such as the neighbor who delivers a spare mask to you, or viral experts. Now we have nowadays we have so many viral experts who giving you a straight of information on how to stay safe. Okay, you thank them. You just thank them. Okay, creating a cycle of altruism is helpful when we are faced with a challenge that affects us all, helping to foster trust in each other and care for each other's right. Okay, this is the way we have to do show our altruism. Yeah, the good ethic. Okay, move on, sir. Move on, sir. Look another. Okay, another thing how we can encourage altruism. We have to do some moral boosting activities. Okay, it is especially for those who are working from home, or like we all are working from home now. Some companies come up with new ideas to keep their team happy, healthy, and engaged. For example, a few HR people, HR people or some managers, some team leaders come up with a different kind of idea. They are very creative to boost morality among their workers. Okay, we can see a few examples here. For example, Daley Smith, founding partner at Florida car accident lawyer team, she was telling, we keep employee morally high by sending out thank you notes to our employees currently working from home. It is a small token of appreciation, but our employees have expressed that they really appreciate the recognition. Okay, the small thank you notes, it's really help to boost their morality. Okay, the next, look at this GJASC Guthrie brand partnership as a design pickle. Okay, what they are doing, we host Netflix parties where we pick something to watch and synchronize our screens, letting us instant message each other. Everyone can be a film critic and talk about how much they love or hate what we are watching. This is a second. Yeah? They're having this Netflix watch parties in the net, I think. Yeah? Okay, the third one, Fancy Dress Fridays. Okay, this group are doing this. On Friday, our team put on ridiculous outfits to make each other laugh during virtual meetings. We found that this is key to recreating that Friday feeling during lockdown. Okay, these people are doing something very creative to boost their moral among their workers. Because it is very, very important nowadays because we are locked down. We with our laptop in our computer only. So we need some moral boosting activities. I congratulate with these people. They're really doing their very good job. Okay, sir, we move on, sir. Okay. Okay, we come to the conclusion. Okay. Actually, we already look at a few moral values, few moral theories and few philosophy people trying to implement during the COVID-19, in early stage, they're trying to implement in early stage. But later on, they realize that these theories sometimes cannot be applicable in every situation, So they are just cool down, they are cool down. Then they're trying to listen to their government, to their community and so on, Okay. Conclusion: the coronavirus is a moral threat, put us in a moral dilemma and an ethical challenge. Okay, this the coronavirus does not seem to care for class position. No, this virus got no mercy. They don't care. For the class position, social status, they don't know. It's don't know the social status, natural assets and abilities, intelligence or strengths. Yeah. Okay. It is an indiscriminate pandemic. So what is our role? Okay. So we have to think. We as a human, we have to think. So far, we think we are the greatest people in the planet. Okay. We think human are the greatest creation in the planet. Okay, but coronavirus telling us, oh, you are nobody. You are nobody. Human are nobody. I'm a small creature, but I can do wonders. The coronavirus is telling us already. Okay, there will be a great human cost to COVID-19. However, we must not overlook the moral cost in our response to this public health emergency. The moral cost always must be there, because human standing for the moral, and the morality is very, very important. The interesting thing about this virus is that it is asking all of us to make a lot of moral decisions, moral obligation, moral duty, moral care, and moral care. Every day we are being asked to be moral. Okay, every day when we listen to news, everyone, our leaders are always try to be moral here, moral and all that. Yeah? I think it is an opportunity to act morally towards human and nature. Okay, yeah, I like this quote by John F. Kennedy too. Okay, we have to act now. If not us, who? If not now, when we're going to act morally? Okay, this is the right time. I think that moral leadership. Okay, that moral leadership need to came from the top of government. We have to see the moral leaders. Every country. The moral leaders. Must be there to help us to show their moral leadership to overcome this pandemic. But that doesn't absolve individuals of their responsibility. I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening, and forgive me if anything wrong. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I hand over to Dr. Dilipan. Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Dilipan, thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for making it very wonderful. Thank you. So, participants, now the forum is open for the question. Meanwhile, I'm also posting the feedback link for the third and fourth session. You can leave your feedback here. Okay. So now the question is to Dr. Mohammed Hari, because you are going on talking about the sustainable development goals. How many institutions, putting it very clear, you can even unmute yourself, Dr. Mohammed. Yeah. How many of the institutions are accepting or going with this SDG concept?
Okay. Now, if we refer to United Nations, they have the committee, all the continent. Example, they have we call RCE. RCE meaning is regional center of expertise, because usually in all the continent having some country will join their committee. The office is in Tokyo, Japan, because usually every year they're having a international conference, World International Conference SDGs in one time. Then also having several workshop and capacity building with them, and if we have the languages, we can join. This is a multidisciplinary approach. Example, During the end of last November, I go to Okayama University in Japan. They're having all the colleagues, including in India. I think I have one doctor from Assam, around Assam in India, and I think some is a researcher in North, some in Tokyo, Okayama, Japan. We work together about indigenous people education, also about SDGs. I think this is opportunity to join. I think if your college having interest to join, maybe I can invite you if have any conference, and I will linkages with that means our expertise in the others continent or others university or college university. I think this is a good international platform to have a good connecting about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goal. That's why at the same time, we can meet our researcher. At the same time, we can get involve our student can involve if have any workshop in activity. Example, one of university in Indonesia, if you look up, our faculty already have the MOU with Gajah Mada University in Jakarta, Indonesia. They're having a SDG stock series. That means at the same time, our student will be involved, and we will giving the SDG certificate, and also we giving the point of their involvement. At the same time, they also have some project research regarding the SDGs. And then some of their lecturers join and we can collaborate. That's why I also having a project about publish a book regarding the SDGs during the COVID-19. I think Dr. Nada know about this. I already highlight in our group before this. At the same time, I also having some colleagues in our SDGs in all in the Southeast Asia, also the Asia Pacific. I think I have the group, and the group of the, like example now we have the WhatsApp, everything. I have a group WhatsApp in Southeast Asia. Maybe I can add your who's lecturer or who's the postgraduate student having interest. I can add with the group. At the same time, we having opportunity having a communicate with some professor in the other country. That's why at the same time we can sharing the activity using the WhatsApp. I think this is a new norm in during the COVID-19. I think my group WhatsApp about SDGs already established more since 5 years. I think this is our opportunity to join international level and having the linkages with the United Nations. That's why the seminar, international seminar and workshop capacity building, usually they will change from the university to the other university. I think this is our opportunity to have international networking. I think you are also having opportunity if some your university follow me and join our activity. And I also having some established university in Indonesia, because I have some colleagues about SDGs, because they also have a good linkages with some university in the Asia Pacific, also in Malaysia. I think this is my comment about your question.
If possible, Dr. Mohammed, we as a collaborative research, both the institution can work on it. I hope so, because it is up to the in the hands of the professor, in the hands of the teaching fraternity, to make our students to enrich their knowledge in SDG concepts and to make them to come up with a startup or something on SDG. Because recently there was in Tamil Nadu, in India, Tamil Nadu, recently there was one particular government industry. Okay, what they have done is they have collected all the waste bottles, like the water bottles, the PET bottles. They collected all those PET bottles, and with the help of the PET bottles, they made a T-shirt. And this is what the T-shirt which was there in the Australian Open Tennis.
That's why when we talk about environmental ethics, when is our community having environmental ethics, they will think then how we can using SDGs concept in their philosophy and how they will implement their concept and theories and how they can plan and they can develop and then they can build up a new new product, and the new product is I ensure we follow the goal of the SDGs. That's why we need what your highlight, what the activities in Tamil Nadu. That's why we want to expand the philosophy, expand the knowledgement about SDGs. That's why these SDGs having the linkages with the environmental ethics is if everyone know about the philosophy of environmental ethics and SDGs, I think we can save our Earth. That means we can save our planet.
That sounds good. That sounds good, Professor. If possible, the Department of Business Administration of our institution, as well as the Faculty of Human Sciences of Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris, we can work on some certificate courses like on sustainable development goals.
Yeah, sure.
We work on it, so we can offer it. Either the students of your own university can also do the course, or the students of our institution can also. It is like two institutions, like we sign an MOU and we can even run a course on sustainable development goals. And as you told, you can even make us or inviting us, and you can also create a linkages between the experts in this particular platform. So we kindly expect that patronage from your end, Dr. Mohammed Hari.
Yeah, thanks. We also having now regarding, I have my PhD students from the Nigeria, Africa, because already graduate. I also having some linkages in a continent in Africa. That's why we also develop now to have the environmental ethics and SDGs approach in Nigeria, because we have some our postgraduate. Maybe if you have any student want to do about masters of PhD about regarding the SDGs, maybe also we having linkages with the environmental ethics regarding what Dr. Nada like. Maybe me and Dr. Nada can help the postgraduate student to come into our university and do the masters of PhD regarding SDGs, or your lecturer can can do the PhD, and then later on they will develop SDG center in your college or a college university. Example, in Diponegoro University in Indonesia, I have last 4 months we have roundtable discussion about SDGs, but very lucky now they already developed a starting of the SDG centers in their university. At the same time, they will develop the community of academicians become SDGs lecturer, and they will expand their SDGs activities with their students. At the same time, we will expand our SDGs approach any part in our country or in our school. Also, at the same time, they will like habit to us all our routine for every day to our students, at the same time for our community. I think that is my spirit to highlight to everyone.
Thank you, Professor. We expect a lot more from you. I'll keep in touch with you over phone in the coming days, so that we can work as a team and we can win success in the pathway of our teaching community. Thank you, Professor. And one question to Dr. Nadarajan, sir. Doctor, you have you told about the moral decisions, moral obligations, moral duty, and moral care. Of course, moral decision is there today. What about the moral care?
Okay. Actually, look at it. I try to look everything in the moral aspect, actually. Okay. So according to Nal-Nodi is a founder of caring and moral, caring, According to them, we must be care about people, The careness is very, very important, even though animals are carrying their kids and their children and all that, we have to do something. That's called moral care. Because at the same time, we have this moral injury also. This moral injury is, we put somebody put down, we maybe hurt them with our words, with our action and all that. So they will injure, that what we call moral injury. It's not a normal, because when we talk about morality is a law of reason. Once you can give reason why your action is like this, why your action is like that, once you can give reason, then we can see the morality is there. You give action without reason, then we cannot see any morality is there. That's why we more to moral care, care about each other, empathy, we can talk about it also. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. I request Dr. S. Malarkodi ma'am for a final remark, and then we'll proceed for vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Respected Professor sirs, it is really a great opportunity for us to have such an eye-opener sessions in the moral and civil science context, how the people should be participatory and to have moral values. Thank you very much, sir, for joining with us in the midst of your busy schedule. This commitment itself shows your civic and moral responsibility to the human being as well as to the nature during this age of COVID-19. I am very much thankful to you, both of you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So dear participants, I hope you have left your feedback, and the entire international webinar has came to an end right now. And it is my profound duty to propose the vote of thanks in this international webinar on morality, civics, and ethics towards human and nature in the age of COVID-19, an international perspective, which has been organized by the Department of Business Administration of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College, Thuthukudi, Tamil Nadu State, India. At the outset, I would like to thank both the presenters, both the resource persons of this afternoon session, Dr. Mohammed Hari bin Ibrahim and Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU. So both of them, they have dealt with the different aspects. When we're talking about Dr. Mohammed as a senior most administrative position as a dean, he has come across with concepts called as climatic changes and what are the environmental degradation aspects, and at last he came to an end with the sustainable development goals, which is actually need of the hour, because SDGs plays a vital role in all the sectors, not only in a single sector, it plays a vital role in all the sectors. So he have touched the entire part of SDGs, and he has also, and this shows that how he is loving the nature. And at the end, he also makes us to love the nature. That's what he told. Are you going to walk alone, or you're going to walk for? So literally, the entire presentation was good. On behalf of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College Management, our Secretary Mr. P. Jeevan Jacob sir, our Principal Dr. S. Malarkodi ma'am, and the Department of Business Administration, and our own professors, our students, as well as on behalf of the participants, we thank Dr. Mohammed Hari for your wonderful session. But I would like to thank Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU sir for being. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to thank Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU sir. He has come up with more theories. Okay, that is what, because we used to study on theories, but we failed to put it in action. Okay, so there should be some deeds should be there. So he have touched on that particular part. See, action is there in verbs, but either in deeds it is there. So he touched at the concluding remarks. He told about the moral care, the moral decision what a citizen has to take, and during this time of COVID-19. So he touched almost all the theories, but without, not only by the theories, at the end he has come up with a very great conclusion. So I would like to thank Dr. NADARAJAN THAMBU from deep bottom of my own heart, as well as from behalf of the GJASC management, principal, faculty members, students, and on behalf of the participants, we thank you, Dr. NADARAJAN sir, for your great session. So we would like to thank the Vice Chancellor of the University of Pendidikan, Sultan, Idris, Dr. Professor Dr. Muhammad Sadar bin Sabran, for permitting all the 4 professors from the Department of Moral, Civics, and Character Building to be as the resource person for this wonderful international webinar. We had a great start with Dr. Noor Banu this morning, followed by Dr. Vasantan, and in the afternoon we have Dr. Mohammed Hari and Dr. NADARAJAN. So I hope you all have enlightened all the 4 sessions in a very nice way. And what is at the end, we would like to have an MOU with your institution very soon, with your university. We would like to have some faculty exchange program. We are going to plan some collaborative research with yourself, like for publications to Scopus and IS, Web of Science and all those things. So like certificate courses. So very soon we will, after this end of this COVID-19, we all meet. If possible, let me come to Malaysia to see you at least. So we'll have an MOU over there in the university very soon. So we'll work on that particular part in the coming days. So it is like a win-win strategy, a mutual understanding with both the institution. Though our institution is not a university, it is a college. We are actually a budding institution. Though we are a budding institution, we have considered our institution, and we expect a great patronage from people like you, so that we will be growing step by step, and one or another day we'll reach the pinnacle of success. And with this great note, I congratulate and compliment all the 4 professors who have done the entire part very well. You made it very awesome. Thank you, professors. Next, I would like to thank our beloved secretary, Mr. P. Jeevan Chakap, who is always there to support us, always granting there to grant permission in conducting such a great webinars. Thank you, sir. It is my profound duty to thank Dr. S. Manarkodi ma'am as a source of support and motivation always for your able guidance. So we thank you from the bottom of our own heart, madam. Next, I would like to thank the professors from the Department of Business Administration, Mr. Sandil Ganesh and Mrs. Dhanalakshmi. And I would like to thank the other professors who have done with the introduction of the resource persons, Mrs. Mohiddin Fatima for the vote of thanks for the morning session, Ms. Ashika Parvin and Sangeeta Sudha for Ms. Sangeeta Sudha for the introducing the resource persons task. I would like to thank other professors who have joined with our institution, and I would like to thank the participants across the globe. And especially we have few students who have joined from Malaysia also today. So on behalf of Geeta Jeevan Arts and Science College, we thank the entire people those who have joined with us today for this international webinar. Once again, I thank you one and all. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. We'll end the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nadarajan sir. A big thank you for you, Dr. Nadarajan. Yeah, thank you. I'll keep in touch with you. Thank you. God bless you.
We invite you to come to our faculty for the future after all COVID is no more.
Yes. Sure. I'll be there.
Your vice chancellor or your rector, and also a dean of faculty or some professors from your college, or including you and all your colleagues come here.
Sure.
And maybe Dr. Nada can help to coordinate all when you reach in our airport, Kuala Lumpur International Airport, we will set up.
Thank you for the invitation, Doctor. Surely as a team, we'll come there. Before that, we'll do some groundworking. We'll plan for the MOUs, what is the thing that we are going to do.
I will put Dr. Nada there.
Yeah, of course.
See you.
Thank you. See you. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
See you later. You can communicate either, maybe Dr. Nada will create the group of WhatsApp.
Yeah. Take care.
Communicate.
Yeah.
How far we still.
Yes. Sure, Doctor. We'll be taking all the takeaways. And again, a very big thank for the invitation what you have given to us. Surely we'll meet on one or another day. Thank you.
Thanks. See you.
See you.